All right, cool. All right, speaking of charity events, oops, wrong thing. Here we go. So the Awesome Games Done Quick has just began. It actually began this morning, at least in the West Coast, 9 a.m. They started up with Crash Bandicoot 3 on the remastered version. And yeah, it started. So it's always an awesome event to watch every year. This and the summer version. And again, that's definitely like more than likely you'll see this channel host them. So once this is done, you guys can watch it from here or go directly to their stream and check out speedruns of all kinds, of all types of games that are modern, that are old, classic. Games that you never thought you'd be able to speedrun, but somebody did. Just a minute ago, I just got done watching the Master Blaster Zero game, and one of the donation incentives was that you get to pick one of the DLC characters that the guy was going to speedrun through, and lucky enough, it was Shantae, which I'm a huge fan of the Shantae series, so it was really cool to see that. And they're going to be going on for the entire week. So if you're bored at any moment, you can just pop up the stream and see what game is being speedrun at that moment. So, Greg, what any particular game that you're excited for this year's AGDQ?
No, not in particular. I mean, I've seen a lot of the speedruns for the games that I would like to see speedrunned. What I find more interesting are the races, personally.
Oh yeah, the races are always fun to watch. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even care what game they're racing. Like watching racers is like, or watching a number of speedrunners play a game and then try to like beat each other. Like, God, that's so much fun. Like I watched the Donkey Kong Country race earlier, and that was
watch, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like again, I mean, I'll say like the stuff that's also really interesting to watch being spedrun are RPGs. Holy crap, those are interesting to watch because
there's a lot of science that goes into those.
Oh my goodness, like side scrollers and action games are easy to see speed run because those are just like precision things and getting things timed just right. But when it comes to RPGs, especially if the person's playing an RPG that's in Japanese,
right? Yeah,
Like, oh, the text is faster, so it shaves off a second or whatever. Like knowing where everything is, it's almost muscle memory at a point. That stuff is fascinating for me to watch.
Yes, definitely. There are definitely some awesome, interesting games that you would never thought would be speedrun. And in some games that like came out in the past year that you're wondering how they're gonna speedrun. Obviously, Sonic Mania is on the list, and like that's gonna be one of the big things for me to watch is Sonic Mania. But like,
on that note, it's always interesting to watch people speedrun Sonic games because those games are almost built to be speedrun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's
speedrunned.
The proper word or proper way to say it. Speedrun.
Yeah.
There's I'm going through the list for like what games are coming up. Like, there's gonna be like a full speedrun of Left 4 Dead 2, which that's pretty cool. I've never seen it happen. Resident Evil 7, I cannot wait for that. Like, cause man, I do wonder how they're gonna speedrun that. Just because there are very slow moments, and they must have found some ways to skip some cutscenes and whatnot.
Yeah.
For sure. Resident Evil 3 is also another one. It's a whole part of the horror block. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. The game is old as hell, but it's also like very interesting speedrun as well. Battletoads.
I think a fun gag would be for them to speedrun Far Cry 4. Yeah, Far Cry 4.
Oh.
But they just do they just don't touch the controller the entire time. Like literally, like I don't know if you know this, but if you start the game and then don't touch anything, you can you'll get an ending for the game.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some games I'm really excited for to watch. And going through here and it's like, looking like, oh hey, they're gonna do a speedrun of Star Fox 2. Okay, that's awesome. They're gonna do one on Spelunky. Hybrid Life Drifter. Like, there's definitely some awesome games that you would never think will be sped run, but it's gonna be sped run at AGDQ, and it's always an awesome time for me to watch every year, regardless of the horrible overlay they have for the non camera non.
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
I think like, and I'll say this piece just because I want to, but like. I really like the last year's layout, the pixelated overlay for AGDQ, or for just in general. I think that overlay is great. I think the way that its theme is.
I'll tell you right now what I liked about other like AGDQ and SGDQ layouts is that they were bright and sunny and shiny and happy. This one seems like it's dark and cyberpunky, and I'm like, why?
I know.
Like,
it's like
it's also boring. Like I said, it's boring. Like having that cam is absolutely like one of the coolest things. Is like, it's a live event. This is rad.
Yeah.
But like not having it and just having like a blurry visual in the background of that crowd, it's like, this is kind of boring. Like that's what I don't like about it. It's boring. You're like, it's the worst. Like no. It's just boring.
Look, the inner artist in me is just such a perfectionist that like when I see something like that, like I do not agree. I do not agree to have that overlay or that design. I would have designed much better. Actually, no. If they were listening, and I don't think they will because they're doing their event. But like if they somehow this got into their inner tubes in some way, like I honestly would prefer their last overlay for like. To use for a long time. Like I am a big fan of the pixelated. It goes with their theme. It's very well designed in the way that the information isn't hitting you over the face of it when you see it. So outside of that though, like I'm honestly minor gripe, but I really am excited for this event, and I cannot wait to see what other games they're gonna speedrun. It's gonna be my entertainment for the next week for sure. So, and for those who are listening or who are watching. Again, please go to their stream afterwards and donate. It's going to a good cause, as much as the Mega Marathon was as well. They are also doing the same thing and raising money for kids. So, I mean, no, fighting cancer. Sorry, fighting cancer.
Yeah, it all goes to Prevent Cancer Foundation, which from what I read, if I'm incorrect, please correct me. But from what I read, what they do is they don't actually do any of the cancer research themselves. They just give money to cancer research foundations.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, sounds good. But it's all for good cause, and it's going to be, again, entertainment for me for the next week. So I'm happy. I'll have something to watch whenever I'm bored. So, all right.
Yeah.
So moving on into our next topic. And let me get that set up real quick.